Family hypocrisy is when we expect things for our kids to do that we don't do. We say, you shouldn't do this, even though we do it. There are a lot of the obvious things, like drinking. You can't drink as you're sitting there downing a fifth of whiskey, or don't smoke as you're smoking. You say, well, I don't want to tell them the right thing to do. Well, you got to live it out before them. You just got to. Even if you struggle with it, show them that you're struggling, that you're trying to overcome, because that teaches them how to live life. But some of the ways are ways that we don't really think about. Like a father who tells his children, treat your mom with respect, then they don't treat their mom with respect. The husband's not treating his wife with respect. How can he expect the kids to treat her with respect? If he puts her down and makes fun of her and then tells the kids not to do it, that's a problem. That's a hypocrisy that the kids are going to have a hard time dealing with. Now, when my kids were little, one of the things I always said is I didn't want them to show their mom attitude. Anytime there was attitude, it was like, how did you say that? What way did you say that to your mother? We don't talk to your mother like that. I was very, very strong on that. The only problem was if I got out of line, and sometimes I showed some attitude, and I'm not talking about just like a regular argument or anything like that, but if I got a little snippy or if I got something like that, I had to realize, oh, that's pretty hypocritical. So what did I have to do? I had to go to my kids and say, you know what? I shouldn't have said that to your mom. I shouldn't have said it in that way. That was wrong of me, how I acted in front of your mother. And you know what? That was humbling. It really was. But what did it do? It helped them see the reality of life. Sometimes we all mess up. Okay? The hypocrisy is when you hide it and act like it's not there. The good thing to do is acknowledge it and deal with it. That teaches your children how to deal with it. Some dads do it by putting down other members of the family. If you have a favorite child and all the other children know that, a lot of times it's because of the way you act around the children. You obviously favor them. That's never a good thing in the family. And you don't want to be that way. You don't want to sit there and talk to one child about the other child in a negative way, talking behind their back. That just teaches everybody how to do that. That's a form of family hypocrisy. You don't want to do that as a dad. You want to be fair to every child. And it's something you have to focus on as a dad because you're the one who maintains that in your home. You maintain, this is how we act in our home, and you don't want hypocrisy coming in and hurting that. Now, the other side of family hypocrisy is blame. There's a blame that can happen in that where we don't take responsibility for our actions. And a lot of men do this when something maybe rough has happened, like if they've gone through a divorce, and what they want to do is blame the spouse in front of the children. Why do they do that? Because it gives them a sense of justification. Now, she may have done a lot of wrong, but that's not for your children to really understand. And what you have to do is work to not be hypocritical in that and not take any responsibility for yourself. Now, she may have cheated on you and done wrong, but that doesn't mean everything was completely her fault. And you want to say, I did some things that maybe weren't good either. Maybe I didn't build the relationship the best I could. Maybe I didn't do this or do that. Or maybe I just wasn't very good at picking someone. And I'm not saying you have to have these discussions with your children, but you want to work through that yourself so you don't act like a hypocrite in front of them, where you're blaming everyone else for maybe some things that you did. Because what you're doing is you're teaching them to blame. You're teaching them to look at others and not themselves. It's funny how we want our children to grow up and be responsible adults, but we have to show them what a responsible adult does. And as men, we have to show them how they act.